What are my thoughts on game emulators and pirated ports? I think it's a tricky situation. I've been playing video games most of my life. I started out playing my games on the Super Nintendo, my brother's Super Nintendo, and I played games like the Super Star Wars trilogy and the Donkey Kong Country games. And as time has gone on, I've noticed that it's getting very difficult if I want to play a lot of these old games that I grew up playing because they're not really supported anymore. These games came on physical cartridges, and these cartridges over time deteriorate. So do the game systems that they played on. And that's where I think things like emulators can become invaluable to preservation of games. And if at some point I want to go back and play some of these games, I realize that it's getting more and more difficult. And it doesn't help that a lot of gaming companies, Nintendo, seem to be making it increasingly difficult to go back and play these old games that we loved as kids. If you go to any used game store or if you just check online, some of the prices that people ask for these old games are outrageously expensive. And a lot of that is dependent on which version of the game you're getting. Something for the GameCube might, for example, be more expensive than something for the PlayStation 2. But there comes a point where there's no real easy way to go back and enjoy these games without emulation. Now, at the same time, I do have to somewhat look at this from the perspective of the gaming companies. These are their products and they don't want people getting them for free. But the problem is they're not giving us any easy way to go back and play them. You either have to go back into storage and dig up your old Nintendo Wii or your old GameCube or your old PlayStation 2 and buy a physical copy that's going to cost you at least $60 to $80 depending on the game, or you have to wait for a remaster that may never come. Not to mention, we're currently living in a time where certain gaming companies, Nintendo, aren't even giving you the game that you purchase. They are giving you a license to the game, meaning you don't own an actual physical copy of the game. Now, I've played a lot of online games. I bought a lot of my games online because I don't feel like going out to buy a physical copy when I can just download it at home. The problem with that is that when you buy it digitally, it can be taken from you at any time. And I get it, game prices these days are pretty insane. The newest AAA games can cost you anywhere from $80 to $90. Plus DLC. I would love to see these companies offer ways for people to go back and enjoy these old games, whether it be through a streaming service or whether they want to offer updated consoles that can play these old games. I don't know, but there has to be some way because these games are fading into obscurity. At the end of the day, we all just want to enjoy our video games, whether it's the newest game that we just got or if it's a game from 20 years ago that we want to go back and revisit. If there's no easy way to go back and revisit these games, eventually there never will be.